everyone, welcome back to the YouTube channel. This week I am staying in my parents' house. Just need basically like on the weekend I have so distracting to have the sunlight. Anyway, this week I am staying at my parents' house. I arrived on Friday. Now today is Monday or Tuesday, something like that. But essentially, I arrived back home around Friday night because on Saturday night we have a big family gathering. So like our cousins and like the family from my mom's side, they all came to visit. It was very lovely. We have a lot of food. I can show you some of the pictures here. Yeah, we had a great, lovely time. And yeah, and then afterwards, I've been staying around for the last, 1 or 2 days. I'm planning to come back to my dorm in like a few days. But for now, I'm just like chilling here. Around in my parents' neighborhood, just like taking it easy, taking it slow. Really, it's a good time to sort of recharge because all the things that I've been sort of hectic with my school projects, with my school final projects, and yes, I am graduating real soon, and so that's amazing. My plan next after graduation is, there's only 2 words really: find money. There's no other way of saying it. But I do have some major plans that I like to have in the sort of next upcoming years. For those of you who have followed me on Instagram or maybe watch my old YouTube videos, you guys know that I used to live in Canada. There's a plan of like going back there again through like couple of means. I have a business that I'm running right now in Canada that I'd like to be able to move there and take care of it full time, obviously. But also there's an opportunity to like do master's degree there, to continue my educations there and probably get a job there. So many options really. And so maybe you guys can offer me a suggestion. Let me know. Anyway, in this beautiful morning, I am driving my dad's car. It's a 2013 Nissan Serena, and it's a car that I rarely drive these days, I have to admit. But when I drive it, it is such a joy. This car by any means is not fast or exciting. Sort of medium-sized Japanese minivan, and it's a car that I rarely drive, but every time I drive it, it is such a joy because it's not a fast car, and that's the point. This is a very slow, unrushed car. This is a minivan with a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine making about 150 horsepower. It is not meant to be fast. It is not meant to be exciting. What it is a very comfortable cruiser car. It's a very shocky suspension there. The roads are not very good, and that brings me to a good point because this car absorbs all this like potholes, speed bumps, whatever, like a champ. The suspension is amazing. The seats are very plushy. I guess that's the word. It's very plushy. It supports me well. Yes, when you're like driving around corners, you can feel the car rolls around a little bit, but that's to be expected of a car this nature. It is very tall. It has it has relatively small tires for such a tall car. Of course, it's gonna roll around a bit on the corners. It just makes sense. But yeah, it is still a joy to drive one of these cars, and it's a very rare. It's kind of rare to find cars like this these days in Indonesia, at least. Not many people are selling it in the used car market because it is just such a comfortable minivan. You can fit a lot of people back there. This is a perfect car for road trips, I tell you that much. And to be fair, when I was back in Indonesia 6 years ago, this is the car that my family have, and we use it for road trips a lot, and for work too. For my dad's business, we used to basically ask the blind van for delivering his products. And yeah, it's an amazing car. It's something that even my dad told me that he would not want to sell. And you know what? It's a bit of a hurdle here. Yeah. And you know what? He's right. I don't think he should sell this car because it is so comfortable. Yes, it's very gas guzzling. It's a small engine in a big car. It tends to not do well in fuel economy. In fact, I'm doing about 8 kilometers per liter right now, which is not very ideal. But it's worth it. And yes, being a Nissan, it's not the most reliable Japanese cars in terms of spare parts and etc. A lot of the parts you need to outsource it from Japan directly. It takes a very, very long time because this is a Japan imported car. This is not made in Indonesia. But it's so worth it. It's so nice to have this car, to drive this, because it forces you right because this car forces you to relax. That's what this car does to me. I've always been in such a rush in life, but every time I come home and I took the key of this car, started it up, drive around, it is so relaxing, which is the whole point of this car. Anyway, I am going to the car wash because this car is a bit of a dirty hoe, and yeah, it needs some cleanup, and I'm not gonna do it myself because this car is massive and it's gonna take hours washing this car. Alright, the car has been washed. We got a free carpet, which I am gonna throw away as soon as I get home. The fuel's not looking very good, but yeah, time to drive back home. Alright, here we go. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about what this channel is going to be in terms of content, because that's the thing about YouTube, is that I've been struggling about, especially creating content creation branding, and that's coming from me who has so many interests in things. Sure, mainly it's automotive sort of related content, but it's not something that it's not my only interest. And sometimes it feels like I want to make a lot of content about all the things that interest me, but people will say, oh, that's not how YouTube works. You gotta stick to a niche. You gotta have a certain type of branding so people can expect what sort of content they can when they open your channel. And there's some truth in it to a certain extent, but it's, for me personally, it's kind of hard to sort of limit myself to certain boundaries, because I'm a man of many interests. You know, that's the easiest way of saying it. You know, I like a lot of things. There are some recurring theme, you know, especially something that to do with engineering, cars, motorcycles, planes, whatever. I mean, yeah, that is pretty much like what's planned for the content, but that's not to say that those things are gonna be the only thing that's gonna be on this channel. And it's also part of the reason why I never changed the name of the channel. It's always gonna use my own name because, you know, I feel like the channel reflects me and my interests. So this channel is mainly gonna be talking about my own interests. You know, cars, motorcycles, planes, probably. Actually, I'm not really too interested in planes at the moment. But if the demand is there, I'd say why not. That being said, I'm not trying to get my pilot license or anything yet, so I'm not sure yet. But it is one of my interests because I think the one thing I sort of realized about myself that, you know, I like to be able to pilot or drive a lot of things. I don't know if a lot of people can relate about this like me, but yeah, you know, if there's a way of making content about airplanes, for example, and maybe there's a chance for me to get a pilot license or what, you know, you never know. One thing that I'm still sort of figuring out is the sort of like the format of the content itself. You know, is it gonna be like vlogs? Is it if it's gonna be me yapping, or is it gonna be cinematic? And I think it's something that a lot of, you know, people who create videos on YouTube often struggles with. You know, what sort of formats are we sticking to? And you know, to that I say I have no direct answer to that. You know, it's something that is gonna be discovered upon, you know, doing this. And you know, I mean, I am not a professional YouTuber by any chance whatsoever, so I'm still discovering myself. For now, I kind of like doing this sort of like car vlog, talking kind of thing. You know, just this on top of my head. You know, I've got some ideas about maybe I can yap about the latest sort of car news while driving and that sort of thing. But you know, there's also consideration that, you know, I'm not at home with my cars as often, so you know, I don't know how many times I can create content like that sort of like consistently. Oh yeah, I do have well, it's not I, but me and my girlfriend, we have a small YouTube channel. We just started. We started out of like, I'm not saying we were drunk. I think we were just like, we're talking. Hey, it'll be funny to create a YouTube channel that we both share, and we can produce some content there. Again, still work in progress in terms of what content we post, but we do have a channel name. It's called Goose Vlog. It's from like an internal joke because we often call like good as in goose, and so yeah, it is probably something to do with like, you know, daily life as a couple, and you know, sort of like a long distance kind of content because we are currently in long distance, like I said. It's also one of the reasons, you know, I'm planning to move back to Canada, is to settle there as well. And to be with her as well. So yeah, that's something that is to be looked forward to, you know. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Hopefully the audio is not going to be too bad. Yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye then.